The beaches are also nice. And the fishing is good. And all things related to the body. And I love to listen carefully because I learn. I don't hear anything focused on but the body. Last night I was watching a movie, Ajnabi. I learned from that too. And it was only all jump up. And that's how this pravachan got spawned, got created. And I look at all these things and I said, the focus is only on the body. But the body alone doesn't make up me. Without the rest of me, the body is limp and dead. And it begins to rot. That's why we got something called cremation. In addition to the body, there is something inside that the doctors, surgeons can't cut me open and find. They wouldn't find, but it is still there. Example, when I have a guava and I smell it and I taste it, these two are coordinated and something inside concludes this is a guava. If that coordinating agency on the inside is not there, I'm talking about the mind and intellect, if it's not there, I can't even smell and I can't even taste. Because this smelling nose is dead and unresponsive. And the tongue is dead in terms of determining taste and it's unresponsive. And beyond the mind and the intellect, there's something called the soul. And modern affluent world focus is not on the soul and not on the mind. Not on the soul and not on the mind. And let me just tell you, I was also watching LMN another day. And a young man, and don't laugh, just listen carefully. A young man kidnapped a young girl because she liked someone else. And he beat her and starved her and beat her and starved her. That person is not focusing on his soul. He's not focusing on his mind. He's not focusing on his intellect. He's only focusing on his body. It's not only one form of focus. It's not only one focus in terms of happiness that you and I have as religious people, as spiritual people. There are three focuses, all intertwined. Focus on the mind, focus on speech, and focus on the body. In focusing on the mind, you extend and go into other ramifications. You focus on the intellect and you focus on the soul. So when you move about and people poke fun at you, say this body in terms of my shortness and my heaviness is not really me. So if they poke fun at me, at this body, they're not poking, they can't perceive the beauty of my soul and the beauty of my mind. So I am sorry for them, and you smile, you get them more angry. They're limited only to the body. Today, leave this Gurukul, eat some food, and go out in your cars and ask your daddy and mommy, Mommy, is it my hand and my head and my nose and my foot and my shoes and my new tuxedo alone that they find me? No, son. That's only on the outside, the outermost encasement. There's something called the mind that's very beautiful, my child, especially if it's logically trained. It's a beautiful instrument on the inside. And even deeper than the mind, there's something called the soul that is not born and never dies and is ever young. And that soul is waiting for the final embrace coming from God. If that's your operative thought, the level of your consciousness will automatically rise. Today we're looking at the question, how can we heighten our own consciousness? Tretayatva, say that? Dvetayatva. Focus also on the fact that you got two sets of aims in life. You got to take care of the body and you got to take care. Because you have a mind, you also have to take care of your mind. Because you have a soul, mind and soul being all in one category, you have to take care of your soul. So when you take soap and brush and you scrub the outside in the bathroom, you must pause and say, but when am I going to scrub my mind? Every time I hated somebody, boop, I have a stamp, a dark stamp on my mind. When am I going to wash the stains off my mind? It is those dark stains that cause me to scowl and frown at people and condemn them. I am washing my body with the best of Lux soap and the best washing liquid, St. Ives or whatever you call it. But where am I going to get the St. Ives? That fragrant soap to wash my mind, my intellect, and my ego, and make it fragrant like my outer skin. I have secular objectives, and I have spiritual objectives too. Dvitaya tva. The entire Western world is focused only on one. And there is also the opposite situation, where people are so lost in words of wisdom, they don't care about their bodies and their outer surrounding. That too is bad. You must have the ability to strike a balance between mundane, meaning worldly objectives, and soul-focused objectives. You must strike that balance. A car needs, even though it says 4, but basically it's 2 wheels. 2 sets of wheels. Without one, the car slumps. Without spirituality, the body slumps. Without physical cleanliness, the soul slumps. Dvitaya tva. Say that?
Dvitaya tva.
Now watch this now. Ekataya tva. Say that?
Ekataya tva.
There is one God, and there is one human family making up his children. The man-made colors of black, white, blue, and yellow and Indian, and the man-made texture of nappy hair and straight hair. Not in terms of man-made, but by the process of natural selection of genes. That doesn't really matter. That's only skin deep. There is only one God and one human family. And if you can have that as your motivation, your consciousness will be very high. Give me 1 second. Give me 1 second. Listen to this first. अरे पार कर संख्य योनियों का सिलसिला, देख मनुज तन ये बड़े पुण्य से मिला. पार कर संख्य योनियों का सिलसिला,
देख मनुज तन ये बड़े पुण्य से मिला. ये मिला है पुण्य के सुयोगों से, ये मिला है पुण्य के सुयोगों से. है अनोखा फूल ये कनून में मिला. पार कर संख्य योनियों का सिलसिला, देख मनुज तन ये बड़े पुण्य से मिला.
हो हा 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 हा. पार कर असंख्य योनियों का सिलसिला. Watch me. You know how you got chain? There's a chain, and there's one link, and another 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 link. The same is the case with you. Being born and die, being born and die, being born and die, being born and die.